I'm Blessings Mosugu, and now to the stories. This week, Nigeria will see lots of rain and thunderstorms from Monday to Wednesday, according to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. Now, in the north, places like Adamawa, Taraba, and Sokoto will have thunderstorms in the mornings and evenings, with warnings of flooding in Adamawa, Taraba, and Bauchi State. In the middle of the country, areas like Benue, the Federal Capital Territory, and Niger will experience light rain on and off. In the south, states like Lagos, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom will have cloudy skies with some light rain. Flood risks are high in Oyo, Ogun, Edo, Delta, Anambra, Bayelsa, and Cross River. Now, people are advised to avoid traveling during heavy rain and for flood-prone areas to prepare immediately to stay safe. We're still talking about the flooding. Residents of Agungi in the Lekki axis of Lagos on Monday woke up to heavy flooding caused by persistent rain, which has been falling for hours since last night. The area is one of the flood-prone regions in the Lekki axis, witnessing such heavy flooding during the rainy season every year. Meanwhile, on the 10th day of September year 2024, the Alau Dam, situated on the Ngada River near Maiduguri, collapsed after heavy rains. This triggered floods that submerged roughly 70% of Maiduguri, claiming at least 150 lives and displacing thousands of families. News Central's Umaru Kirawa assesses the flood situation in Borno State, challenges, and the plans by the government to review its master plan. We now have joining us News Central's lead correspondent, Bernard Akede, who joins us from Lekki on the island part of Lagos. We also have joining us Igbalaniyi Omoniyi from the mainland in Lagos, and we also have Umaru Kirawa from Maiduguri in Borno, also on the news. Omoniyi is right here with us. Thank you for joining us. I mean, it's a rainy morning, and unfortunately, some areas have now been flooded. Can you give us an update? I understand that you are in the mainland axis of Lagos State. What is the update in the area you're in right now?
Thank you, Blessings. We are now at PWD. It's a major spot along the Akede expressway, if I can call it that way. And if we were here 2-3 hours before now, we would have seen probably more traffic behind me, because this is the major way, and would have seen this particular spot I am, which is the PWD, a connecting road that links back to the airport. We'll have seen it totally blocked because of the rains and what the level of water you would have found at this particular spot. This is one of the very few places we've still seen across mainland that has puddles of water still left that has not receded, and that's why we chose this particular spot. Even now, you can see a lot of vehicles slowing down just to pass through this place. 2-3 hours before now, this would have been a major traffic situation. In fact, from the people we spoke to earlier that had been here before now, passing through this area, some of them have had to drop and probably trekked this place through. But choosing this location is very, very important. While we understand that flooding might have been happening across Lagos due to the heavy rainfall, and of course as predicted by NiMet, on the mainland here, what we have is mostly flash flood, which means just immediately after the rain, the water level just rises up, fills up some smaller areas, and of course recedes just a few minutes or a few hours after. And that's why we don't have so much flooding across the mainland here, where we would have seen normally that it will have been flooded. But for now, you can see behind me, the water has receded. Traffic situation has gotten really better, unlike other locations which maybe the topography of the area might not really respond well to rainfall. But on this major axis and some places we visited this morning, like Akede, like Ikeja, that we've also been to, the water has receded and the traffic situation has gone back to normal. We're hoping that it remains that way, because the NiMet also predicted that there's going to be cloudy skies and light rains across the day. So, of course, all those damaged part of the roads where vehicles could easily see would actually now be filled with puddles of water. And, of course, these vehicles, road users, will have to slow down before they can navigate this area. It is also important to state and note that it's because the rush hour is over. By 2, 3, 4, when the rush hour is back, I'm sure we're going to experience so much more traffic here than they experienced in the morning.
All right, Omoniyi, thank you so much. I mean, as we can see on the screen, on the contrary, Bernard is in the Lekki axis of Lagos State, and there seems to be much more water than expected. Bernard, what's the situation where you are right now? I can see so much water behind you. What's happening there with the flood?
All right, thank you for having me, Blessings. Like you clearly stated, contrary to Ni's situation, there is a lot of water in my area here where I'm standing. This is Agungi axis of Lekki, and for those who know, Agungi is synonymous with flooding almost every rainy season of the year. And then we did experience a lot of rain from about 1 a.m. Early this morning up until about 8 a.m. Still this morning. And as you can see around me, this is the resultant effect of what you've seen. I'll swing around so you can see not just this part of the road, but everywhere, even leading to the other part of Agungi Road, all as far as the eyes can see. Sadly, this is what residents of Agungi, experience every year, every rainy season. You also may have noticed that no vehicle has passed since we've been on this shot, probably just one or two maybe. By vehicle, I mean cars, Okadas, commercial motorcycles, or even keke tricycles. So first of all, it's difficult for people to leave their houses. It's difficult for people to come in to the area. It pretty much is a challenge. You could almost call it a disaster. Ni was also talking about what NiMet mentioned in the news, like you equally stated. This could be attributed to the fact that we're probably going to be having heavy rainfall or heavy downpour, like what we saw between last night and this morning. And of course, the topography of the region. This is the island region. So, there are issues with the sea level. And of course, there are also issues with drainage in areas like this particular one. So where the drainage is not proper, is not well dug or easily accessible or completely blocked in some cases, be sure that you would have issues like this one.
All right, Bernard, thank you. I mean, that was spot on because I was going to ask what the issues are that would make the Lekki axis of Lagos have more water than every other area. But thanks for giving us those the details. We will now be going to Maiduguri in Borno State, where we have Umaru, Kirawa, who would also be giving us the update on the flood situation over there in Borno State. Kirawa, thank you for joining us, and good afternoon. What is the situation over there? We've heard from Ni on the mainland axis of Lagos. We've also heard from Bernard in the Lekki axis. What's happening in Borno State with the flood situation? Are you in any flooded area or flood-prone area?
Well, we are going through seeing different locations. For now, the areas where it has been flooded, it's largely due to the heavy downpour and, of course, the blocked riverways, that's drainage system across different parts of the state. But for now, the water is receding in virtually all communities that we were able to visit recently, which were flooded. People had to leave their homes, people had to park, people had to depend largely on others. Some people have to sleep on the highway. But for now, the situation is relatively calm as people are going back to their houses because the water is going back. But largely, the problem is the issue of the drainage system, which we spoke with the governor yesterday, the state governor, Professor Babagana Umaru, where he said that the state government will review the state master plan, looking at the drainage system, and of course, even talking about the behavioral change, because largely where there are drainage systems, people tend to dump refuse into the gutter instead of some areas where bins have been provided. But there are some areas in which they do not even have the bins, and the state governor said such provisions will be made. But the people have been complaining largely, particularly in areas like Bulunkutu, Abuja, where they said the size of the drainage system too, the government really needs to consider it because the size is not that large. And the water, when it comes, it overflows the drainage system and enters into the houses. And most importantly, connecting the drainage system is very important. And when I spoke with experts, they say it's not only about connecting the drainage system, but also making it in a slopey manner, whereby water can really flow and then it should be connected to a river channel. And if need be it, the government should embark on the construction of river basins and channels that are very big that will carry the flood into the river.
Umaru, Kirawa, thank you for the update. I mean, I was again going to ask what the government plan is regarding all of this, but thanks for the update. We've heard from Bernard in the Lekki region of Lagos. We've also heard from Omoniyi on the mainland, and of course, Umaru Kirawa from Borno State in Maiduguri, to be precise. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for bringing us the update on the flooding situation across Nigeria, and definitely we'll circle back to see what the updates are subsequently. Thank you.